For today's recipe, Link will be joined by IQ, Gastro Bob, and Yar, Captain Cook. And backed up as always by Guinea Page and the Animal Crackers.
I love Sloppy Joes. They're a great comfort food. So today, I'm gonna make a vegetarian version of this great family favorite starring tofu. But I think Captain Cook might have something to say on the topic. Ahoy, Captain Cook!
Yar, matey. In all me pirate adventures, I've never heard of this tofu. What is it?
Good question. What's the scoop on tofu, IQ?
Tofu is made of liquid soya beans that have been processed to become thicker, sort of in the same way that cottage cheese is made. The soy proteins in the liquid are made to coagulate or clump up by adding special acidic compounds or types of salt. Once the soya beans have been processed into tofu, they form a strong sponge-like network. By itself, tofu has a bland flavor and spongy texture, which is a plus because that makes tofu perfect for soaking up the flavor of your other ingredients. That's why it's used in a lot of Asian and vegetarian cooking.
Thanks, IQ. So, to make your Sloppy Joes, here's what you'll need. 4 hamburger buns. We're using whole grain. A 1/3 cup of molasses. 1 cup of fresh mushrooms, sliced. 1 cup of finely diced onion. 1 cup of ketchup. We're using low sodium. 1 teaspoon of Worcester sauce. 2 tablespoons of olive oil. 1 teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. A teaspoon of chili powder. 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, also reduced in sodium. 2 garlic cloves, finely minced. 1 15-ounce block of firm or extra firm tofu. All these seasonings aren't just here to make a sauce for the Sloppy Joes. They're also here to make a marinade to give our tofu an extra flavor boost.
Poseidon's beard! How are you gonna get all that marinade flavor in there?
I'll show you. The tofu we're using is extra firm, but it still contains a lot of liquid. But I've got a trick to get that liquid out and get the flavor in. We're gonna cut our tofu into 1/2-inch pieces. We're gonna put our tofu pieces into an airtight freezer bag and freeze until solid, preferably overnight. After your tofu is frozen solid, you need to let it thaw out in the fridge. I've let this tofu thaw. Now it's time to give it a good squeeze. It's just like squeezing at a sponge. Look how much liquid is being released. Amazing! This freeze and squeeze is really working, but I wonder how. What's the scoop, IQ?
Most foods can be preserved by freezing, but once thawed, we discover that freezing can alter the texture of that food, particularly if that food has a high water content. Take, for example, a strawberry. The water that's inside the cells of the strawberry freezes and expands, turning into ice crystals. These ice crystals break open the cell wall, so when the strawberry thaws, the liquid inside the cells leaks out. That's why the strawberry is more mushy, still delicious, but more suitable for a smoothie or a sauce than sliced into a fruit salad. Here, tofu has an advantage in that the ice crystals actually push and pack together those clumpy proteins. So when it thaws, the excess liquid leaks out, leaving a strong, spongy protein network with lots of air pockets. It makes tofu extra, extra, extra firm.
And extra spongy to soak up all our marinade, which we'll prepare next. In a bowl, let's mix together our ketchup, our molasses, our Worcestershire sauce, our soy sauce, our minced garlic, chili powder, and balsamic vinegar. We're gonna pour it on top of our tofu and mushrooms. Mix it all up so everything gets coated. For food safety, we're gonna let our tofu marinate in the fridge. Do you think all foods can be marinated?
Let's find out, Link, with a science experiment.
We know that tofu's spongy texture marinates well, but what about all these other foods? The marinade sticks to the side of the mushroom and the shrimp. But the bell pepper has a waxy and shiny skin. So does the tomato and the zucchini.
Eureka, Link! That's why the marinade doesn't stick.
Excellent observation. Peppers and tomatoes have a shiny, waxy coating, or skin that protects the fruit from both water loss and invasion by bacteria and molds. This same protective coat is going to keep your yummy marinade from getting very far in. Instead, it slides right off. On the other hand, the marinade is sticking to the mushrooms, the shrimp, and the cut side of the zucchini. Those surfaces don't have the protective coats.
There's one extra ingredient needed for a marinade to work, and that's time. So let's give our test food some more time. Check it out. The zucchini and the mushroom have absorbed the marinade, but the marinade hasn't penetrated the surface of the shrimp. What's going on?
Different textures of food greatly affect how much flavoring a food will take on. One of these traits is absorption, or how well a type of food completely takes in or soaks up another substance. Another one is adsorption, or having a porous surface which other substances will easily stick to. Mushrooms and tofu absorb, the shrimp adsorbs.
Absorb means to soak up. Adsorb means to stick loosely to the surface. So that means how well a marinade will work depends on how well the mixture sticks to the food. Now let's get back to cooking. In our pan, we'll heat up our olive oil over medium heat and add our onions to saute. We want our onions to be soft, so we'll saute for about 5 minutes. Lab rat, can I get a speed dial?
Oh, Poseidon's beard, that smells good. I can't wait to taste your tofu sloppy joes. Anchors away! Hoist the sails!
Sounds like Captain Cook will be joining us for dinner. To our sauteed onions, we'll add our marinated tofu and mushrooms. We'll let this cook for about 15 minutes, stirring occasionally. You know, Captain Cook's usually at sea for months on end, so he doesn't get to eat very many fresh fruits or vegetables. So while our sloppy joes bubble, let's make a marinated salad. As we learned, zucchinis absorb marinade, so we'll make a marinated zucchini salad. Here's what you'll need. 1 medium yellow zucchini, 1 medium green zucchini, 3 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice, 1 small garlic clove, crushed, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of finely chopped fresh mint. If you don't have fresh mint, feel free to use 1 teaspoon of dried, or substitute with parsley. Salt and pepper to taste. We want our zucchini to be sliced as thinly as possible, like long ribbons. Hey, Secret Agent Man, do you have any kitchen tools you could recommend? A vegetable peeler? Great idea, Secret Agent Man. This vegetable peeler will definitely give us those even long ribbons. These long ribbons aren't just for appearance, but also for taste. If we want the zucchini to absorb the marinade as quickly as possible, we want the slices to be as thin as possible. Check out these zucchini ribbons. Don't they look great? Now, for our marinade. In a clean jar, we'll add our oil, lemon juice, garlic, and parsley. And shake it up. Toss the marinade with your zucchinis as you would a salad. Let's have a taste and see if we need any more seasoning. Just a little salt and pepper. Now, while our sloppy joes simmer and our salad marinates, it's time to tidy up.
Let's tidy up, let's tidy up, let's tidy up, let's tidy up. When you're finished and the cooking's done, let's tidy up. Even though you had lots of fun, let's tidy up. Gotta clean up the pots and pans. Gotta do your best to clean up your mess. Let's tidy up.
3, 2, 1, 15 minutes are up.
Sloppy joes are ready, Captain Cook.
I'm on my way, Link. As you can see, I had a wee run-in with a giant squid. But you know what they say? The more you wait and marinate, the bigger the flavor.
We made enough to serve 4, especially if ye be a hungry pirate. I had a gastro blast making sloppy joes and marinated zucchini salad with you today. See you next time.